shoot his ultimate over the top. There's like someone on EG is dying at the start of every fight as long as there's a semi-clean engage from G2 here.
Yep, and definitely a nice lineup there for G2. Last pick is for Impact, actually. Had Jojo blind this Zoe. Galio, not the most threatening 1v1 champion, although it can set up very nicely, so gonna have to watch for potentially Jankos and Targamas for Rims again. But as you said, definitely picked more for the comp in general, whereas EG are just opting for Zoe, Ezreal, plus some other champions, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it has the bones of a poke comp, but lots of engage as well, and because we're guaranteed 4 games between them, it does have that feeling of a best of 5. So we'll get to see them trade punches back and forth. Starting the day off, fresh in the morning for European fans. Could you ask for anything else?
Yeah, and if you're in a net, it's a little late, and you might have to wake up soon because G2, are sending it to the top half of the river, all 5 together.
This is the second bum rush strategy that they did. Yesterday was into the bot lane, this time it's the top lane, and you can see EG kind of giving them the respect. Inspire just starts E, throws it in the brush. It's kind of like a mini ward there, and he sees them all come in. Predator for the Galio as well. You can see kind of the strategy. They love the domination tree, I guess. They got 2 more Hail of Blades in the bot lane. Graves as well going in that tree, so a lot of that. But yeah, they're trying to just rush in there with the Galio. I'm sure he would take up W if they found someone in there, and then with the Predator move speed, it's probably very easy to lock someone down and insta-give them. Did not find anyone. They retreat out. They didn't even drop too many deep wards, just that one actually in Tribrush. Surprised not to see them ward out the red camp. You can see EG moving in to kind of check to make sure they're not camping in there, but now that they show on this ward, they'll feel safe.
Yeah, nicely done. Oh, that was not going to get caught either. Sweeper barely misses it. So Yanko's going to go back because he wants to go top lane.
Is my bias showing with the nice?
A little bit.
Maybe, okay, I'll tone it down. There's no EU guys to balance me out today. I'll be much more balanced out.
All right, this blue side start for Jankos, going to be same side start there for Inspired, but I do like the EG are like being diligent. I think against a team like G2, they have so many different weapons that they can bring out even as early as level 1. So just making sure that no one was hiding in the brush trying to gank you around your own red buff. As Targamas already starting to get off, but they go back through. Vulcan going to get the knock up there. Danny trying to fire back here on the Ezreal.
Yeah, we'll see if EG wants to play his bot lane relatively aggressively. While they did see all the people in the bot lane, that ward not getting swept out means they also know that it was not a red star. I think G2 maybe tried to big brain them by going through the bot, then going back to the top side and hoping that Jankos is clear would not get spotted out. But EG, with that ward not getting swept, do know that it's a top to bot clear. It looks like they're going to give this level 2 up.
Oh, very nice Q there. That's big problems, Danny. Getting ignited. Vulcan with a good save, but it's not enough. Blackhead finds first blood.
There we go. G2 popping off again right away with the Pike. Targamas on the level 2. You can just see that EG are not comfortable playing against this pick. The gap close from the E forward into the pull back gets Danny. Does not flash the hook. Doesn't respect it. Gets pulled in and killed, and off to the races again now.
Yeah, level 1 Ezreal, no Arcane Shift available, so an easy pickoff here. So well set up here by G2.
So you can see what I was talking about. They want to sack level 2. They do back off the wave, but they're just not comfortable with how far the engage range of a Pike can actually be with the E forward into the Q pulling him back. And that was the mistake they made there, was they acknowledged, okay, you guys are going to hit 2 first, but did not respect the potential there and end up giving up first blood. For EG fans, you've seen this before.
Yep.
You've seen Danny die in lane, and then they still win the game.
Don't worry about it.
You're hoping it's one of those games.
All right, well, top side, we'll check in briefly. Broken Blade feeling pretty good here in his 1v1, but Impact will be just fine. Don't think we'll see too much of that lane until the mid game. I'm sure they'll be alone, just hanging out with their ignites and their teleports.
Yep, this is definitely a comp for G2 that's going to turn online more at 6 with all of the kind of global ults that come in line, both with the Galio, obviously Camille locking them down, a little bit of a face check between supports here. But yeah, it's definitely a comp for G2 that is going to turn more online at 6, going to target top lane most likely, though they could go bot. And we see Broken Blade already roaming down to mid lane, but EG have a little bit of a cover.
Yeah, Jojo is going to be the target. Does have to flash, does flash indeed. It is a hook back onto Vulcan though, but the sleep happens. Broken Blade not going to be able to get anything, and EG dodge that gank is 2v1 in the bottom side because Jankos is joining in, and Blackhead gets kill number 2.
All right, I think Danny thought that because there was so much attention in the mid lane, it was a 1v1 and he wants to go in there and hop on top of Blackhead, but Jankos was covering that play already, and so they take the 2v1 in the bot side, bait Danny into engaging. Another kill already onto the Kaisa, off to the races for Blackhead at 2-0.
All right, Broken Blade again going to meet Vulcan, but Vulcan going to dash back towards Inspired, and this was the thing for G2 that was on display. I mean, it's not uncommon, we know this about them, but the way they move around the map and just constantly shift all the pieces around is beautiful to watch, and this coverage by Jankos is exactly that.
It's an understanding of player psychology more than it is game information. A lot of the times when people talk about being like really smart players, you're talking about like oh, their game knowledge is so good, they know this matchup well, or the rotatos or whatnot. But for me, if you understand, hey, if a bunch of people show mid and I look like an idiot bot lane, you're going to jump on me, and my team will have someone else there.
Impact in the 1v2 should be okay here. Level 5 on the Gwen might even fight his way out of here. Broken Blade gonna get ignited. Impact looking for it, but Targamas gonna make it happen. Jankos up here as well, and there's no smite because it's just Ignite, and Impact's gonna go down. Impact tried to make it happen, dashes out to safety. Dancing out of the 1v3 there.
Wow. Impact does not find a kill, but absorbs so much attention from G2 there. First off, taking the 1v2, you can see the power of Gwen just when scrapping people out. They bring the third man in Jankos, but the Gwen cooldown on E when you get an attack off, making it so mobile. We saw yesterday that baited Inspired into flashing in at the wrong time here. You know, Jankos does potentially save his team from dying. It was still a good play to show up there and make sure that Impact did not walk away with a kill potentially.
Vulcan continuing to stay active as well. Jojo did get a bit of a ward down and clear things out with the Scry's Bloom, so they don't know. The Vulcan's just chilling as Jojo is going to hit level 6. Jankos could be the one in trouble, knows that there's something potentially wrong. He's going to now see Vulcan. Going to try and turn his attention back around, but Jojo's here as well. It's 3v2 right now for EG. Inspired should be able to finish his steal, and indeed he will.
Yeah, I think EG showing a little bit of restraint there, given that they were not 100% sure if the Pike was coming up or not, and the 3v3 would be a little sketchy. And so they just grab some camps back off, reset, and now here's that 6 we're talking about. Caps can start having the easy follow-up plays if anyone wants to go flying in. This is the first Galio for Caps this year, as far as I can see, as well as only the third Camille game for Broken Blade. So not a combination that they have practiced on stage a lot, but it is one of the easier to execute strategies, as well as I can assume that they've played this a bunch of times in Scrim. So we'll see if they can start abusing the side lanes now.
Again, Targamas looking. This time, Danny dodges that hook, but it's 3v2 right now. Jankos off to the side. Level 6 as well for the Graves. Gonna try and sneak into this brush. G2 setting his gank up very nicely. Vulcan's only level 3, so it's tough for Rakan to find an angle. Because now Targamas is going back in, finds the Q. They're gonna back off. No, Vulcan wants to go back through. Whew. Jankos, I still don't think it's been spotted, but G2 decided to call off the play.
Yeah, nice little use of the wall there to get a little bit longer range, it looked like, for Targamas. As Broken Blade, here's that
there's the Galio, and Impact is going to be trapped. The W actually stops the knockoff, and Impact's going to keep on going, but Gwen is not immune enough. Impact is going to run back towards the enemy tower, and who's going to get the kill is the only thing left to decide, and the gold goes to Broken Blade.
Nicely done there by G2, coming in with the Ignite down for Impact means there's no threat for him being able to turn that one. Punishing, even though he did a good job surviving last time, did a decent job surviving this time, just the extra man too much for him to outplay. And if G2 pick up their third kill of the game already. EG still looking to get on the board. Only 1,000 gold down, so it doesn't look that bad. They've done a decent job staying even through farm, but the playmaking from G2, just their ability to get on the map and make things happen is unparalleled.
That's why you pick Predator Galio, right? You are going to side lanes as often as you can afford to. And Caps once again is going to push and roam, going to try and get some vision. Inspired just chilling in the Rift Herald pit, hoping no one spots him. Will get away safely to base. But Jojo's out of mana, so you have to go home.
Jojo gonna have to head out. He does have Unsealed Spellbook. We'll see if, I'm not sure the last time he used his teleport, might be able to just heal and base swap out or something. We'll see what he chooses to do. But that will lead to a free Rift Herald. G2 knowing after the kill on the top side, the mana down as well in the mid lane, that this is a free one to take. I'm not sure EG would have wanted to contest no matter what anyways. Does feel like G2 have a pretty firm grasp of this game yet again. This is kind of how the game yesterday felt, where G2 are the ones making the vast majority of the plays. They're slowly accruing these leads over time, and next thing you know, it's 25 minutes in, and it's a 7K gold lead. They have Baron.
Yep, and you know, EG aren't the fastest team in the world. They're pretty deliberate in how they approach games. Their mid to late game, especially their 5v5, is really what got them so many of their wins. Obviously, the AD meta was different then, so the comps they have to build do function a lot differently to their run in spring. But EG are a team that are more than happy to be patient. They'll take their lane leads when they can get them. They'll take their ganks in their roams. But for the most part, they're happy sitting back, as long as they're not too far behind. I would say this is an acceptable series of losses so far, but G2 are a team that can snowball very aggressively.
From purely a game state angle, if you took the nameplates off, I would say the EG comp is in an okay spot. The Camille having a kill, you know, starting to maybe get a lead, and then the side lane is what you're concerned about, just the playmaking that can come in. But from 1,000 gold down, yeah, this team can still, in team fights, if you can kite out that initial engage from the Galio Camille, then you can start poking them and blasting them with all your range advantage that you have. But the concern is when you put the nameplates on, G2 being the favorite team already, having the lead, looking very clean so far this game, you start getting worried.
Yeah, should get a lot of value out of this Herald as well. Trying to set up here in mid. Jojo with a bubble, not going to connect. Picked up a Reverie as well, so could pop it for a play here. It's 3v3 right now. Q's going to miss. Inspire jukes it. Inspire wants to go back in, but Pyke's very tricky to pin down, and they're not going to commit.
Okay, I hate Pyke. I'll say it. Before it was not just because G2 is the one piloting it. I get so frustrated always seeing this champ get out like with 20 health, heals back up to 70%. He's just one of those annoying champions to play against. And sometimes gets frustrating to watch too when you just see him be so slippery. But that also makes him such a fun champion to watch sometimes too. Because well-piloted Pykes are so aggressive. They can take such a beating and still survive and then come right back into the fight.
Yeah, Pyke's also a champion that, like, you get them to 10% or whatever.
Doesn't matter.
Even if they say you're not safe, right? Like, one reset and everything's just gone completely wrong. So, got to be careful, got to really do the damage to Pyke when he's in the mix. But EG haven't had to play any sort of extended big skirmish or even full 5v5. Not rushing towards his first dragon. It's just a Mountain Drake. Kind of being contained very well by G2 so far. Impact's having a decent time, but in general, game's just pretty slow and steady right now.
Well, I think from the angle for G2, you don't really care about dragon stacking. Like, obviously, dragons are good. You want dragons. Everyone wants dragons. But for their comp, they don't necessarily want 5v5s. You enjoy having a split-up map state. And so if you're not stacking the dragons, G2's not going to contest you. Or EG's not going to contest you. If EG's not stacking the dragons, you're not going to be forced to contest the soul point or anything like that. And you can go for these kind of split-up fights like this.
Okay, Caps can't come, but I don't think it's going to matter. Yanko should have enough, but indeed he will. And now Targamas is already here, Inspired and Vulcan far too late to this play.
Yep, if they had the right read on it, just a little too slow to get there. Jankos had the inside track. Targamas showed up around the same time as Inspired Vulcan, but by that point, Impact's already dead. That means that they get to take a couple plates off this turret, drop his Rift Herald, funnel some more gold into Broken Blade, and this is the concern as they actually go in.
All right, they're going to go for it. There's the combo. Vulcan finds two with the knock-off after the ulti. Jojo's moving on in. Broken Blade is low, and there is Inspired with the double kill. Onside, Danny at it again. Flacket exhausted, but I don't think that's enough. He's so strong on the Kai'Sa with those 2 kills. Danny's going to get out, though.
Yeah, all right, so EG finally find an opportunity to answer back. A little bit of greed by G2 in the top lane, trying to get that Rift Kill charge off and not respecting the Jojo Pune roam, but Caps is going to answer on the bot side. Danny is trapped between a rock and a turret.
Yep, and a Galio, as Danny is just going to get 1v1. Yeah, Flacket just takes it, doesn't even need the assistance. Caps holds the ulti. Danny goes down.
All right, Danny answered after Flacket pre-chunked him out, forced the summoners as well. It was off screen, but Flacket actually landed a nice W from River to set up an engage onto Danny and chunked him out. And that's when, because Jojo Pune just shown on the top side, G2 have this great answer play on the bot side. Find another kill, find some more turret plates. Gold League continuing to explode now because while EG does find some answer kills, they're underneath their own turret. There's no real objective for them to grab. I think Jojo got 1 plate in the top side before they had to back off that situation.
And again, another great bit of team play by G2 across the Rift. Yes, Caps didn't even get an assist for that play, but him being there is the thing that basically traps Danny. There's nothing he can do.
If it doesn't show up on the scoreboard, it doesn't count. No. That was absolutely a kill. Assisted by the Galio. You still see it on the scoreboard.
Doesn't get gold,
and it's one of those things that, you don't necessarily see in highlight reels. You don't see it in, talk about stats or anything like that. But those are the kinds of plays that win you games. And that's something that Caps has always been incredible at. The roaming windows that other people aren't ready for.
All right, well, Jojo continuing to throw Qs, just activating the passive, trying to get some damage on to the turret. Doesn't even throw it. Flacket doesn't want to take a tower shot, would rather take the plate there. EG trying to get aggressive here, overloading this top half of the map, protecting Impact a little, trying to catch this Pyke in roam. This is a good setup here for EG, but again, G2 will counterpunch very quickly, and Vulcan recognizing this is going to back away as Caps actually the one to take the first tower down in bottom lane.
Yeah, I wonder if EG thought that they were going to have G2 overload into bot side to take the dragon, and they were hoping to get a trade play on the top side during that time, but G2 only left the Galio down there alone, and you had Targamas up there kind of protecting Broken Blade and stuff, so EG couldn't actually grab any turrets or anything like that, just a little bit of vision control that's already being swept out. Double Umbral Glaze will be coming in by G2. Jankos has his already. Targamas still working on his, but that will mean it will be very difficult for EG to keep any sort of wards up deep in the enemy jungle.
Yeah, that is one of the really nice features of Pyke in this day and age, when Umbral Glaive is such a popular item. Pyke is a champion that absolutely loves to build lethality, so slots right in nicely as EG will eventually take this dragon. But to your point, this game has not been about stacking these dragons, and given the pace it's going with G2's lead, they have now about 3,000 gold. In fact, more now as Broken Blade takes his turret in topside. I just don't think the dragons are going to matter that much.
No, not at all. I think G2's very intelligent about what objectives they actually care about, as we see a bubble land. not going to result in anything, I don't think. Too many other members of G2 around. But even in the game yesterday, there was a period of time where they gave up the second Rift Herald, which is something that I think a lot of teams don't want to do. You don't want to give that up. It feels like a lot of gold. But because EG were already behind in tempo that game, they ended up getting a charge off mid that chunked it from full to half. But who cares? It's still a half health turret. It doesn't actually give you any gold. And meanwhile, G2 were getting other things done on the map. And I think they're very intelligent about knowing what objectives will actually advance their game plan.
That's just TP, but EG don't have the presence to fight. Danny's busy catching top wave. In fact, was roaming up, but he had no TP because he was pushing in onto Caps. So G2 actually with a kind of a risky-ish looking play, but they do manage to take that second Herald without any incident.
Well, assuming you have your timers down, you know that there's no way that EG can pull the extra man card on you, so you can go ahead and take that one. And the reason the Rift Herald is more important for them in this game than, say, the previous one was this is much more of a split push composition. Even if you do end up moving men to each other, you do want to use this to make a play, drop the Herald, and then end up being able to really push that advantage. If you kill Gwen in the side lane with a Galio, that Rift Herald becomes a lot stronger. There's also still a mid lane up, and I just love using second Herald to break mid lane turn if I can. That is such an important part for map control.
3v3, Spider the Brush trying to set the trap. There's the ulti out of Ezio, but that's not enough damage on the Yankos, and Danny is getting 1v1. Inspired got one, but he goes down on the other side, and Broken Blade has already finished off the Camille, and now Jojo has to contest with his Kai'Sa, but the sleep is just so they can run away. Bottom side, Impact's doing what he can on the tower, but G2 still chasing. Caps won't find anything else, but G2 still won that exchange.
Yeah, 2 for 1 in G2's favor with the man advantage, the global mobility of their comp coming in right there, making sure that they could actually protect Jankos, make him live a little longer than I think EG thought it was going to happen. That means during that time, Danny was also just getting messed up by Broken Blade, who's off to the races. I've seen some people memeing on Broken Blade a little bit for his performance yesterday, where he was struggling into the Fiora versus Aatrox matchup, and then on the second Aatrox matchup was one of the people that EG were able to make plays on, but I think hadn't received a lot of attention despite playing these carry picks from the team. This time G2 has more tools to help set him up, and you're seeing what Broken Blade can do. That he was really good during their run in playoffs through that loser's bracket, but I think for a lot of international fans tuning into that run, they're like, oh my god, Caps is amazing, he's making the run, but Broken Blade was a very important part of that.
And look, we've seen him in the LCS too, right? Was a bit hot and cold at times, but when he's hot, really on as a player. And you know, Danny wasn't there when Broken Blade was playing in the LCS.
And a lot of players who have that kind of, I don't want to say coin flippy style, it's just like you are willing to take risks that other people aren't. They sometimes draw more negative attention than the safer players. But I
the Ornn players?
Yeah, the Ornn players, yeah. But I always respect players who are willing to take the risk to actually win the game.
It's okay, he's also an Ornn player, so he's got it all.
You can do both.
Very well rounded.
Find you a top laner who can do both.
Well, G2 certainly have found that. Vulcan in the mid lane trying to get him to Flacket, but that's a beautiful supercharger away. And now the kill is going to come. Flacket finds it there as Vulcan going to go down.
And with that, they're going to have pressure in the mid lane. You have to assume Jankos might drop the Rift Herald here. It is going to get used to finalize this turret. See Caps in a little bit of a weird spot here.
Gallows level 12. Everfrost is nice. Danny shifts into on Flacket. Oh no! Whoa. Comes on in, scoops one up. TP's coming on through, and Broken Blade thought about the dive, holds it this time, but G2 find 2 and the mid tower as well as the Herald gets used.
Who's baiting who? Caps looks like he's out of position.
Oh, again, in fact, gonna get baited. It's just so easy. Flacket, 6 kills, man, dominating in this game.
Absolutely running away with that level 1 first blood onto Danny. Has not slowed down since then. 6 kills. Flacket is just playing clean up here. Caps keeps baiting him in.
Still sleepy, but the damage just isn't there. They don't have the burst. Jojo's landing the bubbles, but there's just nothing else they can do. Picks up an Everfrost, pops it for the wave, I think, and Danny's ulti's going to get a bit of poke happening, but G2 just going to run away. I think EG might get mid if they can counter push, but G2 got so much off that play.
Yeah, G2 absolutely running away with the game now. That's what I was talking about. It starts slow, and the snowball just keeps going downhill, up to about a 6,500 gold lead now. And Caps, yeah, just getting caught out of position, saying like, hey guys, look at me, and then just overstepping by EG, not knowing how strong they are. Starts first with Vulcan, again, going in, gets baited, just too clean by Flacket, too easy, just pop the E, walk out of that, and then they get that return kill, and then here's Caps. You think he's caught out of position, you think he might be in trouble, but it was a pretty nice Everfrost as well. When Danny shifts in, he's already rooted. He kind of buffered his own CC to be caught out in the front line, so it's very easy for Flacket to actually go and get that kill there. And now he's at that Kai'Sa level, you know, where you just pop R, pop Q, someone's deleted instantly.
Yep.
Ooh, coach's staff feeling good. Was that like was he flexing the wrist, like shaking it? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever it was, it's good for G2. Not so hot for EG right now. As you can see, damage dealt. Flakked overperforming on the Kai'Sa. Has now 2.5 items as well. Maybe even a third off the back of that gold. No, not quite there yet, but with 700 bonus gold, if he can kill the Kai'Sa, that's going to be the hard part though as G2 take this dragon.
Kraken Collector, someone might be looking at that. I think it's actually good here, given the relative squishiness on the enemy team. It's really only Inspired who can get kind of tanky. So the fact that your team has so much raw damage in it, you can very easily collect those kills with that item. So this is a great time for it, I think, given that you're going to be flying into the backline with other people trying to assassinate them. Definitely a defendable purchase as Broken Blade.
Little Loopsy.
My man.
In the EG jungle.
I was singing your praises. I was trying to hype you up, dude.
That's why he died. Let's be honest.
This is exactly what I was talking about. You know, he's trying to work for his team, trying to get some deep vision. You can kind of see there's a pink ward on the far side of the wolf wall, and he was just trying to be a team player. Got caught out of position. Does give EG a window, excuse me, to push into G2 side and start clearing out some of this vision. But you can still see, even with that kill, EG know they're much weaker. Like, you have to make so many mistakes like that for G2 to give up control of this game that it's pretty defendable from a risk-reward perspective. That, like, even if I die, does it change the game state? No.
No. Just gives a little bit of gold back. EG will take it, but G2 not too flustered. Broken Blade's already back on the map. Doesn't have TP, but it's cooling down relatively swiftly. He's going to go down and catch that bottom wave. Thinks better of it. Going to go now towards his team, who's looking around the Baron area, at least wanting to bait EG into this play. Ooh, Targamas almost eats a bubble there, but good little dodge to the left. Gets out of it there as Jojo's still fishing around these objectives.
Still looking around. We'll see how G2 wants to advance the game plan from here, because without the dragon stacking, it's a little less telegraphed of go dragon, enemy team contests you, you get a nice engage with Camille Galio. Because EG can kind of sack these, the only thing they can do is pressure the Baron. It is still relatively early. I can understand G2 maybe playing it a little slow, but they're also not necessarily known for that. We'll see what they do.
Doing a great job in this vision as well. EG with defensive pinks trying to make it happen. Targamas looking for the Q. Does not land. Flakked dodging that bubble as well. The terrain is kind of interesting for Zoe. Not as many chokes, actually, for you to throw things through. So G2 dodge all that as they look for a bit of an invade.
There we go. Unlucky for EG. Not our fault. We got the Infernal map with Zoe. Nope. Unlucky. GG. Go next.
You know what? It was Infernal Rift last time, too, actually.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So from here, I want to see what they do. I'm really excited to see Flakked popping off like this. I think I said this with Dracos on the Diephoria podcast. It felt like, as an outsider looking into the European region, it did feel like there was not as much emphasis put on him during the regular season, and it was a lot about Targamas being incredible. And during the run, with the kind of swap of Broken Blade to being a little bit more on the Ornn, Flakked got to shine more and more, and it feels like that momentum has continued for a young player stepping in. First game on Kai'Sa this year as well. This is exactly what you want to see out of him. He is absolutely smurfing, showing that he can be the primary carry in some of these games, you know, where I can just get insanely fed off laning phase and carry the team. It feels like such an important step for the young player to be proving himself. I mean, this is just EG. We'll see how things go further on in the tournament, but this is incredible momentum from him carrying on through the playoff run.
Definitely a good-looking game here to kick things off, as teams are just jostling for control of this Baron area. EG know they have to be very respectful, right? G2 are willing to pull the trigger in basically every situation, whether it's, you know, 1v1, 2v2, or even a full-on 5v5, and they don't really have good vision control, so EG are being very methodical, trying to clear things out, trying not to get baited by caps again. But that does mean that, you know, you kind of just have to push your waves and see where the enemy wants to go. You are getting dictated to a lot in this game, and G2, they are so good at controlling the pace of the game. I think it's one thing to be like, oh, you know, they play quickly, and like, the answer is they play quickly sometimes, but they're so good at setting up plays. This is an example. Cap's going to come on in. Counter TP is going to be a little too late. Impact trying to save the day, but it's not enough, and Jojo now just has to turn tail and run.
Yeah, a little bit slow on the TP there. Maybe would have been able to be turned around if he was right on top of it, but had to find a safe location to TP in, I believe, and that gave the time for Broken Blade to get that kill. The Camille also very strong right now, just 2-2-2 compared to 0-3-0 for Impact. Despite having more farm, because he's kind of been left isolated to split push, still cannot contest that fight, even blowing the Ignites traded out. And this is the problem for EG now. There's no point of pressure on the map for them. G2 can kind of just keep picking them apart. It is hard for G2 because there's so much face check potential between the Jarvan flag, the Zoe skill shots, the Ezreal skill shots. Like, it's very easy for them to actually contest vision somewhat if Broken Blade's not there for the engage. If Broken Blade's dealing with impact, it's much harder for G2 to find that engage unless it's a target mishook kind of landing or a total face check into Galio.
The G2 did get, the minions moved up in mid off the back of the bottom lane play, but couldn't really get into the tier 2. Again, not wanting to run towards the Baron. The Dragon wasn't up. It is up now, but no rush here for the teams as EG. Do you want to find some of these objectives? Obviously, they'd love a fight win, but I think at this point, you'll take whatever you can get. Impact still trying to make something happen in the bottom half of the rift, but he knows off the back of that last play, he can't extend too far, and G2 is going to go ahead and swoop up this Infernal.
Yep, just commit as few resources as possible to it. Black and Yankos make quick warp of that one before going back to their lanes to push out. And with that going down, EG know, okay, that's where they were. We can go back to our lanes as well. And now this is when I think you'll start seeing the actual real Baron pressure come in. The Dragon's down. I don't think G2 want to wait another 5 minutes before making a play, so we'll see how they can control this Dragon up on the top side. But things are looking good for them. Looking like they're going to head out to a 3-0 quick lead. That's half their games done through group stage. There'll be 6 for each team. And halfway through as well, the specific matchup of EG versus G2, NA versus EU.
Looking good. Still eyes on Flacket. Hasn't finished item 3 yet, but he has to be somewhat close. Been out on the Rift farming for a long time. Again, all those kills, all that extra gold that he's worth, and a huge CS lead as well. Just absolutely running over this game right now, to your point earlier. EG still trying to find something, but this, I mean, even this tower being up still just makes EG's life so miserable.
It's very frustrating. I don't think they'll be able to grab this one unless G2 make a big mistake. At this point, you're hoping that you can kind of get a split with Impact grabbing it, and I think for the side of EG, it's a little disappointing. Like, everyone was like, the NA talent, the NA talent. I don't think, realistically, we thought they were going to come out here and smurf on G2. They're so good, but the mistakes that we have seen thus far, while slightly characteristic, are still disappointing. I would have wanted more out of Danny to not be getting caught out so often. Yes, their laning phase can get exploited, but as we see the split push, Galio.
What is going on? Caps doesn't even have TP up. Doesn't need it right now. Doesn't have rank 3 ulti either, but Caps is just pressuring this tower. No one to answer him so far. He's going to take it if there's no one there to hop on over. There's Impact finally showing up, but that's how it took a beating while Caps is just split pushing. Again, credit to G2's creativity around the Rift, and Caps is like, I'm not afraid of you. Maybe you should be afraid of Jojo as well, but the Everfrost is coming down. Impact's going to try and make it happen. Good interrupt there on the Justice Punch. They will get the kill, but G2 are onto the Baron.
Yeah, G2 are on the Baron, but they don't have too much damage on it yet. This will give time for EG to get over there and collapse.
Took a lot. He's still eating damage to the Baron. The Ezreal ulti's almost there, but Inspired's in the mix. Now EG are going to go back through. Inspired gets 1. Inspired gets 2. EG are going to get the Baron as well. Are you kidding me?
G2 at the Baron, they throw back to EG.
Oh boy.
Caps wants to do the split push. It's very common that if multiple members collapse onto the the split pusher, you go and start the Baron, but they just don't have a tank without the Galio there. He's realistically the tankiest person on the team, so everyone's getting obliterated by the Baron, and Broken Blade is too chunked out. There's a really strong engage by EG. If you mess up, J4 Rakan can mess you up, and that's exactly what happened. And with this, the gold lead has catapulted back into EG's favor because of the bounty shutdown. So here you see Caps wanting to split push. I was talking about without Broken Blade being at the Baron, it's hard for them to turn. So I understand the lane assignments of put Caps in the bot lane, but that interrupt, making sure they can kill Caps, puts pressure on G2 to start the Baron to get something on the flip side, but they're just not tanky. Their damage wasn't there to actually be on it the entire time, which gives a really easy combo for Inspired and Vulcan to punish them, get those 2 kills, and right away they're going objective, they cannot stop us. That's the smite down, finish this off, and off the end of this fight, they also grab a ton of gold. You can see G2 not feeling good about that one. I mean, when I was talking about those kind of mistakes you can make, that was the big one.
Yes, G2 had really only made minor errors so far this tournament, but a big misstep there. EG punished to the maximum. Rebel Baron power play up to almost plus 5k. The gold lead before this was about 9k for G2. That's a 1,500-ish between the two teams now. That is an absurd gold swing.
Yeah, when you see the gold graph at the end of the game, it's going to be a cliff.
Yes, it was a cliff. And unfortunately, G2 may have fallen off the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, this is an insane amount of pressure. EG are getting back. They're already on inhibitor turrets.
Impact pressuring. They're going to crack the mid-inhib here. G2 are going to have to find a fight, but
they're trading. They have Broken Blade in the top lane. Without him, their engage is so weak.
EG going for it though. Targums is going to get drafted up. They're not going to follow it through. They'll take the tower instead. EG just going for it here. They've got the Baron. They're going to race Broken Blade. No, they're not. They're going back.
Gonna use those empowered recalls. They're gonna go match him now. Two inhibitors for one is a good trade, but then you make sure their desync recalls don't get caught here. Absolutely G2 play to find someone alone there, but they get out of time. They do trade 2 inhibitors for 1, but they still have 45 seconds on the Baron, excuse me, and we're not on soul point for Dragon. So realistically, EG don't need to go down there. They can just kind of keep up the pressure and play for the map. And their siege comp is now so frustrating for G2. G2 really do need to actually engage here. You can't just sit back and let that keep happening. They still have the gold lead. They can still win these fights. So that's why I think it's better for them now to start actually contesting now that the Baron buff is wearing off. Next time that EG kind of posture up like that, you kind of need to go. Because if you just sit there and get poked away, that does favor EG's team comp.
And, you know, we can see the gold numbers as G2 do indeed take away that Dragon. EG decides they don't want to contest, but the players can't.
That's a very good point. If you ask players what was the gold lead at this point in the game, very often they're not quite sure. It's very much a feeling and a momentum-based thing. And so G2, if their experience can carry them here and go, no, we're actually still strong. We actually can still contest. We can stop this push in the top lane because, like I said, EG saying, screw it, we don't care about Dragon. Let's get the 3rd inhibitor.
Gwen just straight up sieging, though, with the W. EG going to take this tower. It's gone. Have to be careful, though. Don't want to push too far forward.
Broken Blade flanking.
Really good flank here from Broken Blade. EG now going to be forced into a 5v5. Broken Blade, what's the angle? They spot him just barely with the little blue trinket there. But EG want to stay. They've got so much pressure with these waves.
Yeah, but they still need to respect it.
Exactly.
It is this very scary flank. You can see them. No one actually able to get onto the inhibitor to hit it. Impact, I like this, wrapping around, starting to clear out this vision, so it's a little harder for Broken Blade to find an angle.
Again, Broken Blade now kind of on the front side of his team. Impact basically marking him here, making sure that Broken Blade can't find, you know, the Ezreal in particular. A sleep's going to happen. EG going to push forward. Targamas is very low, but now the re-engage happens. Caps in with the ulti. It's 5 jumping on through. George has been trying to find him, but he can't get on the back end. GA's going to proc, but Caps is in the mix. And Impact, he's actually found Targamas. They're going to find Caps as well. Vulcan sacrifice for the cause. And EG are going to take 3 inhibs.
Caps and Targamas down, 4 up for EG. Triple inhib down. Are they going to reset or try and end the game?
They're going for
EG, they're going for the game.
They are going to go for it here. 4v3. Danny lets the ulti rip. Broken Blade, no ult. G2, not much left in the tank, but Jojo getting shot. Blackhead is so strong if he can find the free time, but I don't know if he can find the space. Broken Blade going back in, but now dashes back out. Danny aggressively far forward. Yanko's the target. Inspired going to get killed off, though. Blackhead finds the kill. That's going to delay it. EG have to leave.
Nicely played defense there by G2, baiting them in and out, never letting them find a target. None of the engages by them actually let it. Ooh, Danny gets tagged up. TP coming in as well from Broken Blade. They're going to have to split here and look for an area to recall in safely. They're going to see him right across the wave, but Targamas is in hot pursuit. Doesn't want to let them out.
Yep, the youth of EG are maybe in a spot of bother. Jojo doesn't get trolled by Banshees. They took that one out. EG is going to keep running. Danny's just going to fight. He has to try and kill Targamas. Here's the TP in from EG. They're going to try and protect the lads. Here comes Vulcan looking to support the team. He's going to give up his life, but Impact's here as well now. Impact now going to let it rip. He takes out Caps. They get another Broken Blade falls. EG, they find the counter play.
Who's baiting who? Pastry time! The flash follow by Vulcan getting in there to make sure Caps could not actually get onto the 2 most important members. Made sure they kept the youth alive, like you said. And there's that cliff. Still technically G2 with the gold lead, but my God, has EG been in control ever since that Baron throw.
Years of my life are being shaved off from this game, and we're not done. Makes sense.
Like the witches and Hocus Pocus. That's a boomer reference right there.
EG pushing in again. I don't think you can end at this spot. EG looking like they're going to agree with me and just go ahead and back away. Critically, a minute 40 or so until the Baron is, until the Infernal Dragon's back up, and Baron's back up right now.
Yep. I like this call. You know, Baron spawning, triple inhibs down. It's slow it down a little bit here. I don't know the last time Danny reset. He probably has a ton of gold to actually spend. So go ahead, let your minions do the work, grab the free objective, set back up, because it would be nice if you could end the game before you're on soul point, but realistically, that is too big of a risk. Get these advantages while you can get them. and get ready for this dragon fight that's probably coming your way.
Nice thing is the inhib are going to be staggered as we'll watch this play again. This was saving Private Danny.
I mean,
here for EG.
Yeah, you can feel both teams getting a little loosey-goosey here. Vulcan stopping Broken Blade from collapsing with the initial part of his charge. While Vulcan did not actually get the charm on the Galio, he still was able to stop him from getting out. And that allowed them to have some targets to kill. Those double kills going back in their favor. The G2 reach behind, I guess, is the play. That's 2 for 2 on the reaction cams, being the scratch to the back of the head. Not looking good for them. I will say it's not totally doomed. Triple inhibs, the two are back up. They are open. EG are probably going to grab these before the dragon comes up. And then I don't know if they even leave the base. It just feels risky to even fall back to the dragon because that allows Yanko the potential to smite steal. We've seen him do that time and time again.
Don't let him near it. Yeah. Don't let him anywhere near the dragon pit if you can help it. Because EG are going to look to take down this mid inhib. Should be able to get it here. The Baron Cannons are going to have enough. There's a good sleep on the target, but they are going to go for it. No, they are. Vulcan dives in, but he whiffs completely. And now G2 are going to find the counterpunch. Danny is going to get jumped over. Impact is ripping through the rest of G2. Impact is trying to carry the team over the finish line. As Blackhead's going to be the next target. They take him down. Inspired, though, now the only one left alive. And G2 are going to get an ace. I think, yeah, Broken Blade's got it. Inspired's dead. That's an ace for G2.
Battle of the top laners. Broken Blade comes out on top with the carry out of nowhere. 7-3-4. The engage by EG came up short. They couldn't tell if they wanted to go or not off the sleep, and so Vulcan, when he finally went in, was a little too slow. They could not actually kill Blackhead 100-0, and then the counter engage by G2 was absolutely massive. With that, Broken Blade is going to be able to take away the soul as well. Infernal Soul in G2's back pocket. Broken Blade giveth, and Broken Blade taketh.
And now Broken Blade's the one with the bounty. 7 kills. And the Infernal Soul for G2 as well, so watch this one again.
So this Drowsy on Deflacked was good, but I think he was invisible for a portion of time, and so maybe Vulcan didn't actually know where he was for the engage, and by the time he can go in, it's too late. This opens up the counter engage. Absolutely monstrous by Broken Blade. No help from Galio there, just getting on top of Danny, threatening him. Like we said before, Impact was good on the other side of the fight, kind of winning it with both backlines obliterated. Broken Blade was just a little bit faster on it, and this deletes Impact with the charged up Q, and was able to win that fight right there. And Inspired doing what he can, but not a fair fight.
Yeah, Targamas lives. I mean, he's going to live to fight the super creeps off, which is good, but he didn't need to either. Broken Blade would have been just fine there. It's, you know, not Elder Dragon, it's not Baron. It's an easy objective for someone like this Camille to solo. Broken Blade does just that because the entire enemy team is dead. And we are back to a very tricky game to figure out the lead in. 37 minutes almost done. Infernal Soul's up for G2, but EG still pressuring with these inhibitors, although 2 are now respawned.
Yeah, map state in EG's favor. Game state in G2's favor, I would say.
Yep.
Their comp with this extra damage can absolutely delete someone instantly. So even with the frozen heart of Danny, I don't think he'll be safe if Broken Blade's able to get on top of him cleanly with caps. It's about who's got better hands right now.
EG trying to find the engage. They're going to go back in. Danny going to get jumped on caps here as well. I think they interrupted it though, and Danny's cutting it out, but he can't do any more in EG. They have to fight through all the stasis. They have to fight through everything, and Yankos is going to rip Impact apart. Vulcan's got nothing. Jojo's got nothing. And G2, I think they've won the game. The fight goes their way as they get another ace.
It's an ace for G2. Broken Blade turning back in. He jumps onto Danny, and rather than kite, EG go onto the enemy backline. They go try and assassinate G2. G2 totally out-team fight them there. 5-4-0 in their favor. They're pushing in bot lane. 40 seconds for Jojo, 30 for Danny. They should be able to end the game off that, but it is a very long push. This is what I was talking about with map state being in EG's favor, even with the one fight. G2 are going to have to get there, but they should have this one.
Yeah.
I said they were going to go 3-0 before. Maybe Caster cursed them a little bit, but this time it should actually be the end of the game. 10 seconds before anyone else comes up.
Yeah, 5v0, pretty easy fight to win here for G2. It was very dicey after that Baron, but G2 hold on to their undefeated record as Vulcan will respawn to watch the Nexus fall.
Everyone, hail King Broken Blade in the top lane. Woo! Whoa.